Yep.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell reportedly wants a new contract which will be worth nearly $50 million a year. Remember, please, the anthem protests continue, and there's a lot of empty seats in the stadiums. Joining us now is Marc Ganis. He's the founder and president of Sportscorp. He's also a consultant to the league's 32 team owners. All right, Marc, I've read your stuff. You say that Goodell isn't going anywhere. Does that mean that he gets this new contract that he's asking for?
Well, Stuart, he didn't ask for that contract. That was not what the term of art these days, fake news. One person puts out a story because they have an agenda. That's what happened here. To quote one of the members of the committee, that story is garbage. The reality is where Roger's contract would be is roughly the same amount of money that he is making now, and with that being many specific performance clauses that would be voted on by many of the owners as each year comes up. So there is no big increase. There is no jet for life. There is no $50 million that has been requested. A little bit of fake news, my friend.
Oh, no, I'm glad you pointed that out, that it comes from a single source which has an axe to grind, and we like to hear that. Thank you very much indeed for telling us about it. But you do believe that Goodell stays as commissioner of the NFL. I mean, he stays, regardless of the salary that he pulls in and anything else. Right. You say he stays. Now, why?
Absolutely. Well, because he is the right person to lead the league through the next collective bargaining agreement, which is the single most important thing that a commissioner does in sports these days. He is also going to be the one to lead going into the next broadcast contract cycle. Why? Because his history is he took a terrible CBA in 2006 and in 2011 made it a great one. He took $6 billion in revenue when he started 10 years ago, and they're going to hit $15 billion this year. This is a very unusual time we're in in the United States right now. Social issues dominate brands that we thought were impervious. The reality is that brands have never been impervious, and people who actually make money off of them and millions of dollars off of them at some point need to understand you can't insult your customers and expect them to keep coming back.
But it's Goodell's handling of the anthem problem that's really upset so many people. And yet you say that the anthem protest, the empty seats, the declining TV ratings, push that all to one side. Goodell stays because he's done well for the NFL in the past. That's not a very strong argument when they're in the middle of this. I'd call this a crisis. Football's in real trouble here.
Well, Stuart, it's not a matter of just what you've done in the past. It's what the past will indicate you will do for the future. We are in this period right now with the anthem, which, by the way, is starting to die down. Only 3 players protested the anthem in the games on Sunday. So it is starting to die down. It takes a little while for 2,000 players to understand what they're doing and why they have a responsibility that can be handled in other ways, and their agendas can be addressed in other ways. It doesn't happen overnight. Now, the next phase of this is this continual education, this continual outreach to the fans. There really is no one in a better position to oversee the entirety of the NFL than Roger Goodell, and the people who know that best are the people who actually pay the salary, the 32 team owners.
And you are in close touch with them, and that's very interesting. Marc, thanks very much for opening up this story. It's very interesting. We appreciate your point of view. Thanks, Marc Ganis.
My pleasure, Stuart.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.